So let me quickly comment that the reason that the camera looks different, or that maybe I look different, is because this is my desktop camera, because the wire for my actual Sony, which is the higher quality camera that I normally use to film videos, I left it at the hanger. So I saw some of your guys' comments yesterday. You guys were like, wow, Ricky, you look really sick. I guess this is maybe just how I look in real life or with a less quality camera. But nonetheless, pretty interesting day in the market so far. I'm going to be sharing it with you guys, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. I hope that you guys learned something new, and if so, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing if you feel like we earned it. So one of the first things that I quickly want to cover is we just wrapped up my live session with the LPP team. From the reminder, I trade live with them every morning. I'd love for you to tune on in, and if you want to watch, it's the second link in the description down below, and you can watch as soon as tomorrow. But one of the things that we talked about is, market began to indicate signs of an uptrend right when the market opened. I went with the flow. I didn't overcomplicate my trading today. I went into tqqq. As you can see, I'm up as of right now 11K on the day, but this is because of my secondary trade. So let me explain. Based off of what happened on Friday, if you guys remember, we rallied, we peaked, we hit highs of around 39.70, and then we crashed, right? We sold off. I saw this to be a very similar setup. It's a little bit easier to see on the 5-minute time frame. I saw this to be a very similar setup, and I remember during today's live session, I just pointed out of like, hey, we're approaching our previous resistance range that we did on Friday. And on Friday, when we approached this, we got rejected and gave it all back. Just a friendly reminder on why maybe the idea of locking in profits is not a bad idea. I locked in profits right away. I sold early. I didn't sell at the highest price point. I wasn't worried about that. My thing was, just in case things did go like they did on Friday, I don't have to worry about giving back the profits I already made. I can't predict the future. All I could ever do is prepare for worst case scenario. The market began selling off, and as you can see, I didn't take a position on SQQQ. I only have my one lucky share, as you guys can see. So I didn't trade SQQ. Yes, sure, in a perfect world, I could have made money on this one, and then just like I did right now, jumped back into tqqq and make money on the way up. I re-entered tqqq as we approached previous support levels, and I announced it to my LPP team under the trade idea section. I just keep them up to date on what I'm paying attention to. It's never designed for them to copy what it is that I'm doing. It's just for them to understand where my focus is for the day. And I'm very glad that I did so. My biggest takeaways from today is being able to look at previous patterns, just like we did on Friday, and be like, hey, this looks very similar to what it looked like on Friday. Maybe the idea of locking in profits or reducing position size at overbought levels is not the worst, because if it plays out anything like it did on Friday, I don't want to give back everything that I gained. And because I did that and it sold off, I was able to re-enter literally at a 2.5% discount, because in a perfect world from lows to highs, which again, this was not my trade, but that's 2.4%. And again, from today's lows and highs, that should be right around 2.45%. So again, right now, if we were perfect traders, which there's no such thing as that, but that would have been a 5% margin to work with, yet tqqq is only up 0.6% on the day. There we go, again, by being able to manage my position size and being able to exit at a proper overbought level and going in back in for a re-entry, I'm up 11, almost 12, there it goes, $12,000 on the day. tqqq is not even up 1%, right? Obviously, I trade with a decent dollar amount, but again, this is the beautiful thing about managing your position size at oversold and overbought levels. I wanted to use myself as an example, not to say that my trades were anything close to being perfect, but again, I'm far from that, right? SQQQ, I could have sure taken a trade on this. But one thing that I also spoke about in today's live session with the LPP team is anytime that you sell one side of the ETF, right, just jumping into the inverse, you're always just one bad trade away from giving back what you just made, right? And just because one side is overbought doesn't mean that the other side has to actually recover. How many times have you locked in profits on one side, but then all of a sudden it just continues to form higher highs and higher lows, right? It doesn't actually sell off. And that's the one reminder that I had for our LPP team, as at least in my experience, I often could put myself in a really tough spot if I think that just because I sell one position that I automatically justify entering another. And that's not the case, right? Just because you sell one doesn't mean that the other side is going to, be full of opportunity. If anything, it just could continue to uptrend. And that's why I always say, when in doubt, cash out. And if direction is unclear and or if things are still too risky, then again, having no position is better than a risky one. But other than that, again, when it comes down to economic reports, there were no economic reports that were released today. When it comes down tomorrow, we have new home sales, consumer confidence. Those are all set to be released on Tuesday, June 27th. We will be covering that during my live trading session with the LPP team. And then we do have durable orders that comes out 1 hour before the market opens. But again, that's going to be tomorrow. I do want to keep you guys up to date that this week on Wednesday and on Thursday, Jerome Powell will be having a live discussion. I'd be more than happy to host this live stream for free on our YouTube channel. All you have to do is drop a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will take care of the rest. I really do appreciate you guys' time. I hope that you're able to have some takeaways from my trading experience today, and hopefully it could encourage you to properly manage that position size and properly manage that risk, right? And when in doubt, cash out. Really do appreciate you guys' time. I'll go get the wire for my camera so I don't have to use this low quality camera anymore, and maybe I'll stop looking sick. So appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note, and I'll see you tomorrow for our live trading session. Remember, that's that second link in the description down below. Take care, team.